So when you read the synopsis, this sounds a little bizarre, but it's more normal and typical than you actually think. Let's talk about the new film, Blaze. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film Blaze, which makes its world premiere at this year's Tribeca Film Festival 2022. Now, simply put, when you look at the synopsis of this film, and I want to read this almost verbatim. A young girl witnessed a violent crime. She summons an imaginary dragon to help protect her anchor and protect her on her journey into womanhood. Now, you're thinking like, what? Let me tell you, a lot of folks, when it comes down to trauma, creating a safe space or even just a safety block in your mind, whether it's some form of imagination or whatever it may be, is truly how folks who navigate and has to constantly sustain with such trauma in their life. I'm talking about life-altering trauma as well too, because this young lady in Blaze, played by Julia Savage, who does a fantastic job, really, after witnessing this violent crime, and it's not just a violent crime of whatever, it's a rape and murder of a woman that she sat there and she wasn't able to do anything, and that's already a difficult thing in its own. But witnessing that and how horrific it was, and then how not only did she witness this woman, you know, being powerless, but it made her powerless, is completely the utmost bit of trauma that anybody can experience. And that's where she creates this imaginary dragon, which basically helps her continue to move through life in space. Now, the other thing with this is that while that seems to be the whole plot of this film in terms of like who's responsible for this rape, I feel like the message of this film is way more powerful than anything that the story or the plot is trying to talk about, because the message basically is about how women you know, who are victims of these crimes are deemed powerless, and there's no help for them, and just the vast amount of already being blamed for these things before they're actually given any bit of resources, comfort, safety, protection, or just anything in order to, you know, transform the idea of just being victims but survivors. And I think that Blaze, the character, depicts just what women have to endure in these circumstances, in these situations where you know, women are sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, raped, and then what? Because when Blaze was, you know, in this film, when she was happened to testify about what happened, it was almost as if she was lying, you know, and she was there, and it was just like, considering that, like, you know, they tried to discredit her, decharacterize her by any extent, you know. And she's already feeling guilty for everything that's happened. But it just shows you that, like, just how much of a norm this is in terms of how society view women in these instances of all the of sexual assault and so on. So, and Blaze is being a witness to this, you know, and not able to help, and countlessly replaying these things in her head. It's just been an experience for her, and she's still trying to make it as a young lady. So but with that, I gotta say that the visuals of this is really fascinating, and when I say the visuals when she's in her safety net, her safety block, that mental space that I'm talking about, in terms of, you know, continuously moving through life, but have to do it in a way that, you know, she feels safe, she feels protected, and that's where her imaginary land comes into place. And the visuals along with that is really, really good. And while some of it is kind of comforting, some of it is very gory, brutal, and so on, because that's just the nature of what she had to endure. Where, like, now almost anything could be triggering to her, and she's still, again, trying to find that balance. And her father, played by Simon Baker, you know, single father at that, is, you know, also navigating this with her, you know, with his daughter happened to be on trial, and them completely attacking her character, and then how she's responding to the trauma and all the different things that are triggering her throughout her daily basis. And sometimes that's causing a little bit of friction between the two of them in the house, but they're still trying to coexist. They obviously he has endless love for her, but like he's in uncharted territories where he almost to an extent feels kind of powerless in his own, because he doesn't know how he can protect his daughter from this world that she's witnessing a lot sooner than he would like at the age of 12, witnessing a woman being raped and murdered, and how that has affected her life, and how she had to be questioned, how she had to be put on trial, how she had to take a rape kit, and then to be blamed, and then as I said, to be discredited, decharacterized, and all that. And he's the father. What does he can do? What can he do? How can he protect her from the dangers and everything? So, but yeah, I think the visuals of this was really fantastic. And I love, again, the message that this film is displaying: depression, grief, anger, all forms of just dealing with trauma response and so on. Like they really tackle on some heavy things, but still able to do it in a very beautiful way. I love the cinematography. There was a couple of scenes that I was just really wowed at. One scene earlier with the father trying to get Blaze out of and when she was at the police station trying to comfort her, and seeing him really close in the camera, like this sort of just madness look, because he can't believe what's happening. I just loved how the cinematography was able to really portray that, along with Simon's acting performance, making that scene, a 5-second scene, be so much more impactful just by the work together. And then, as I said, Julia, I think she just does a really good job in this film, because not only do we kind of see this young lady kind of mature on the fly, but I also think that we see Julia mature as an actor on the fly. I think her performance got better as the film got deeper, and as the messages got harder. She arose to the occasion and really was able to relay the message over. And then the ending of this film was super powerful, and I think that a lot of women are going to watch this and feel very connected to it. But I think everybody should be able to learn something from it, and also start conversations with it. It's an international, it's enter into the international narrative competition, which in all narrative films, there's always a big importance of not just the story but the message. And this one, I think, is one that really needs to be focused on a lot more, so that we have more protection for women, more resources for women, and we're not out here calling women victims but survivors in these instances. And hopefully we don't even have to even go that route anymore. So, but yeah, this was a good film. This was a film that I was I didn't know what I was expecting. I for a moment thought okay, this could be something like a thriller or whatnot, and it is a little bit of a thriller, but I think the drama in it is so much more deep that you're just focused on the message that's being told and letting the actors do what they do best. And that, I think, this film succeeded with flying stripes. So, but yep, check it out. Blaze, again, made its world premiere this year at Tribeca Film Festival 2022. Jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon. Big gold bell,